Hello, you guys, and happy Thursday. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be doing this with you guys. And this has been something that me and Hope, I've been asking her because even though I am not a mom, I have so many moms on my team. And one of the things that I'm always hearing is, how do I work this business as a mom? How do I balance this business as a mom? And I think it's very cool to be able to take tips from moms that are at different stages of motherhood. And so we all know that Hope gave birth 5 months ago to this cutest, I'm a little bit biased, but he is the cutest baby I've ever seen. And I got to be there for her as a friend through that whole journey. And I can tell you guys that there were some parts that were not pretty, and there were some parts that were very tough, not just on her body, but mentally what she was going through. And so I'm super excited to ask her all the questions and to kind of just pick her brain as to how she figured it out and how she made it work for her. And so what I want you guys to do, it's not necessarily taking exactly what Hope says and applying it. It's taking what you hear from her and the determination that you hear and the hunger and the grit to make it work regardless, and to apply that to what we know to do in our businesses every single day. So Hope, I want you to, I'll unmute you. And the first thing I want is for you to tell us your story, kind of just go from where you were before, where you were when you joined, where you were where you were before you got pregnant, and then
yeah. Totally. So, hi guys, I'm so excited to be doing this. I've been talking to you guys about doing this. There's been like Alli said, there's been so many questions to me about how I've been able to stay consistent, how I've been able to stay determined, even though things are really hard. And so, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hope Weston. I'm a double diamond. I started this business back in September of 2015. I was a college student. I was going to my local community college. I also was working 2 jobs. I was working at a grocery store and as a bartender. And then I was planning my wedding. Me and my now husband, Tyler, were about 6 months out from our wedding at the time. And so busy. I've always been a busy bee. I've always had multiple jobs, been in school. And so basically I joined this business really just looking for an extra $200 a month. I really didn't think that I could make any more than that, but I knew there was people that were making thousands of dollars a month. And so I was like, okay, if there's people making thousands of dollars a month, I can at least make an extra $200 a month, and that would be worth it. And so I got started. Like I said, I was crazy busy. I literally learned how to work this business 10-15 minutes here, 10-15 minutes there. But then, I started to succeed and I caught the vision. And so a year and a half into my business, I went diamond. And then a year after that, I went double. So there was lots of other things in there, y'all, that I would go over tonight if that was the point of this Zoom. But the point of this Zoom is really talking about this journey of mine, going through my pregnancy, becoming a mother. So I had been double diamond I went double diamond March 30th of 2017. And the very next day I walked out of my last job. I walked out of my serving job. I was like, I don't know why I'm waiting tables. I'm a double diamond now. Girl, bye. I literally walked out, haven't clocked into a job since, which has been such a blessing. And so about 6 months after that, or I guess about 5 months after that, I actually had a miscarriage. We weren't trying, but there was just, God works in mysterious ways. And so October 1st of 2018, I had a miscarriage. And it really just kind of shook me to my core. Tyler and I had been together for a very, very long time. And it kind of just opened my eyes to what I had been missing. I didn't know that it was a missing piece of me, but it was. And so, but everything happens for a reason, y'all. And even though that still makes me sad, I know that it all happened to lead me to being my son's mama, who we literally got pregnant with the very next month. We did not waste any time. I was like, I'm ready. Let's do this thing. I found out I was pregnant the day after Thanksgiving. Y'all, I was sick the entire month of December last year. Puking my guts out every single morning. You can hear my son in the background. He's as loud as I am. He gets it from his mama. It's okay. I was puking my guts out every single morning, and it did. Right off the bat, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be different, because I had been working my business. Besides my marriage, my business was my number one priority for 6 months before I even got pregnant. And so it really was oh my God, I have to like start just really prioritizing my time. And so we got pregnant. I was sick until I was about 11, 12 weeks. And then the second trimester was fine. And then y'all, when I hit 36 weeks pregnant, that little booger yelling behind me literally bruised my ribs from the inside. I was in chronic pain for the last month of my pregnancy. I thought I had until the end of July, right? Like when you get pregnant and you hear your due date, you're like, okay, all right, I'm due at the end of July. They'll probably be here like end of July, beginning of August. No, June 22nd, you guys, I was down for the count. I was in and out of the labor and delivery. I literally went to labor and delivery, I think 5 or 6 times because I wasn't sure if it was just pain from my ribs or if it was contractions. And that was when it really all just started being like so important for me to take what I had learned about working this business, take what I had learned about specifically, you know, income producing activities and implement them into my business. And so my son was born July 23rd at 39 weeks, 1 day, and he'll be 5 months this month. And I'm not going to even try to lie to you guys. The month of August was kind of a wash. I literally had a brand new baby. I still managed to sign 3 distributors. Holla, that was like a win for me. But then I've been signing 5+ ever since then, even with being a new mom, even with sleeping like 4 hours a night. And so that's why I really wanted to do this, because while it hasn't been my best season, I'm still showing up. And I think that is kind of when people ask me, how are you doing it? They're not asking me like, how did you go ambassador after having a baby? Like, obviously I haven't done that part of my story yet. I'm going to in 2020, but really it's just the past 5 months I've been through this crazy life change. I'm completely different than I was a year ago. That's what happens when you become a mom. Biologically, I am just not the same human being that I was a year ago. And so how have I been able to take my business and let it adapt with me into this new, you know, life that I'm living? So that's where you find me now, y'all. Double Diamond, mom of an almost 5-month-old. We just moved into a new house going into 2020. And literally my goal is ambassador before his first birthday in July of 2020.
It's so crazy that you just said that, because I like, oh my gosh, like it just happens so fast. And I know that you think the same thing, but even from the outside looking in, like, it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. And then like, he's here. And I was like, whoa, what happened? Like that just happened so fast. And now even watching him as he's growing, and obviously for you see him every day, but for someone that doesn't see him every day, every time I see his picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's getting older. And it's just, I'm just so inspired. And okay, so my next question, because like I need to know, is what is the hardest thing so far that you've realized about juggling being a new mama, being a wife with a newborn, and being a successful business owner? And how are you working on like getting past that?
So I'm going to say this, and like you all who are taking notes can write this and you can underline it like 3 times. And it's literally just priorities. My priorities have literally been turned on their head, right? Like before baby, it was like hubby and business were I would do my business during the day, and then hubby would get home at night, and then he would be my priority. And then I was second, you know, me, my personal like self-care, taking care of myself. And then it was like family and like my mom and dad. And then it was like friends. Now it's like, baby, what comes next? What comes next for you? If you're a mom, I know your kids are number 1. I know that now that I'm a mom. So what comes number 2? Is it your business? Is it your spouse? Is it family? Is it friends? Is it, for me personally, I have just had to like align myself so clearly with what the vision for my life is. Honey, can you take me upstairs? He's just distracting me because I'm sure it's not distracting to you. It's just distracting to me. I have had to get super aligned with what my bigger vision for my life is. Okay. So there's some people who might like watch this Zoom and like hear that like my marriage, like at this exact season of my life is like 4th or 5th, like, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean I don't love my husband. It doesn't mean we don't have set date nights. And I'm going to talk about that as well when we get, a little bit further down. But baby, business, self-care for me, for myself, right? And then my husband, and then literally everything else, including housework. Some things must be sacrificed. I'm not even going to talk to you about the laundry that's sitting in my bedroom right now. I'm even going to talk to you about the dishes sitting in my sink right now. Because you know what? Folded laundry, signing distributors. Right now it's Christmas. I need money. I'm signing distributors. I'm not worrying about folding laundry. For some of you guys, that's going to be so hard though. That differentiating that. And it has been hard for me because before I had Casper, having a clean house was a priority for me, right? Like having a clean house for when Tyler got home because he was at work all day and I was at home all day. Whether or not you're in this business, like, can we just take the business aside for a second? There are so many pressures on you when you are a mom. You are expected to be chef, personal driver, maid, night nurse, freaking like regular nurse. You are expected to be a therapist, like all of these different things. And then you add business owner on top of it and you're like, wow, you really want me to be all the things all the time. And so aligning your priorities with what you really, really want for your life is just so, so important. And you don't have to be a mom necessarily to get value from the Zoom, which is kind of what Alli was saying in the beginning. Like, whether or not you have kids, you need to figure out what your priorities are. Because for some of you guys, you're letting a lot of other things be above your business, when the fact of the matter is that if you would just prioritize your business up near the tippy top, like 1, 2, 3, you would be a lot further and you would find it a lot easier to find the time to do the things that you know you need to do in your business. Okay, the second thing that I've really struggled with is freaking intentional time. And what I mean by this is, y'all drop a 1 if you have been in the freaking scroll hole. I expect 97 ones and there's not even 97 people on the Zoom. Like, I literally, like, every single person, you hop on Facebook, you're like, I'm gonna get so much done. All of a sudden you've watched like 9 Ellen DeGeneres videos and like now you're watching some random blogger video and you're like, I don't even know how I got here. I literally can do that, or I can work my business. There is no, before I had baby, it was like I had all day. I got freaking 16 hours of my day to go. Doesn't matter. Now it's literally like, you guys, my son does not sleep. I'm not asking for sleep advice. I'm just telling you he don't sleep. And so sometimes I put him down and I get like 5 minutes before little shit is up again. Excuse my language. I love him to death, you guys. I really, really do. But today was a hard day. He literally napped for like 10 minutes this morning. Sometimes I put him down and I have like 2 hours and it's great. And I get all this stuff done. But if you knew that you had 10 minutes in the next 3 hours, all you had was 10 minutes. Maybe you're working. Maybe you're a full-time worker who can't look at their phone. You know, you got a 10-minute break. You're a mom. You're putting your kid down for a nap. You don't know if you got 10 minutes or 2 hours. What are you using that time doing? Are you getting on Instagram and scrolling? Or are you like getting on Instagram, going to your followers and pumping out 25 messages before they wake up, you know, before you have to go back from your break? So intentional time, like, you can do so much in 10 minutes or you can do so little in an hour. And the choice really is yours. It's just whatever buttons you're pushing on your phone and like what you're like allowing yourself to do with your time. And then the third thing is just communication. Speaking from somebody who literally just went through the like pregnancy, labor and delivery, postpartum, exhaustion, like your hormones are literally wiggity whack. Like, I am not coherent sometimes. It is so important to have communication with the people that are in your life. I don't know who that is. Boyfriend, girlfriend, baby daddy, best friend who you hang out with 24/7, parents who are in your life, you know, closely, especially going into the boom season. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to be having some conversations with the people in your life. Hey, I'm going to be busy. It's going to look like I'm on my phone a lot. It's going to seem like I don't want to hang out with you. It's going to maybe make you feel some type of way. So when I sat down last week with my husband and I had this conversation, I said, look, this is going to literally be the busiest season I've ever been through in my life. Casper's going to be 5 months this month. We're still not sleeping great. We're moving into boom season. Your girl's going Ambazzi. Like, this is going to be some ish for the next 6 months. I can't sit on the couch with you and play video games when you get home from work after the baby goes down. I have to work. Is that going to make you feel some type of way? And Tyler's not the kind of guy to be like, yeah, it's going to, you know, he was just like, no, it's fine. And I was like, well, would you feel better if we had one night a week? One night a week where after the baby goes down, I don't pick my phone back up. We just hang out, the two of us. And he was like, yeah, that would be great. How about Mondays? Because Mondays are a hard day for him to go back to work, y'all, because he works Monday through Friday. And I said, Monday night is perfect because we do Zooms usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, right? You can rewatch the Show Me the Money call. I was like, Mondays are perfect. So now we have that agreement. He knows that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's going to come home from work. We're going to do dinner. We're going to put the baby to bed. And then my nose is going to be in my phone. He knows Saturday, Sunday, we're going to do as much as we can as a family. But when the baby goes to bed, my nose is going to be in my phone. But if you don't have that conversation, what does that look like to them? What does that look like to your mom, who you usually go out and have brunch with every single Sunday? Things are going to have to go, y'all. That's the number one thing. That's been the hardest thing. All three of these points. That's what I just told you. Some things are going to have to go, and it can't be the baby. And if you're on the Zoom, then I'm guessing you don't want it to be the business. So if you don't want it to be the baby and you don't want it to be the business, some other things are going to have to slide. What are those things going to be? And how are you going to handle it? It doesn't need to be this jump, I'm not hanging out with you. Nobody needs that. Hey, I've got goals. Talk about your goals. I told Tyler, I was like, honey, in 6 months, you're coming home. You're coming home. I don't want you to miss any more of our son's life. I don't want you to go to work every morning. No. Bear with me for 6 months. I'll give you Monday nights. I'm going to Ambassador, and you're going to come home. And he was like, okay. You know, he knows better than to argue with me, but he was like, okay. So yeah, there's just all of these things, you guys, but that's the number, that's to answer the very long-winded answer to your question. What's the hardest thing I've had to learn and how am I dealing with it is some things have got to go. And I just had to I have to make sure the baby is alive. I have to make sure I am fed and occasionally showered. And I have to work my business because this means more to me than anything because of what it's going to allow me to do in the future.
I have goosebumps. I have oh my gosh. It's so wild to me, not just your story, but everybody that comes into this business as one person. And when you've been in this business long enough, you're like, you get to see other people grow into like these beautiful human beings and it empowers you even more. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Okay. So daily non-negotiables. We have talked, and I know that you're going to be honest with the ladies on here, but there are some things that you will not go a day without doing. And I want to know what those are.
So this is me. If you guys have ever been on a Zoom with me, or if you know anything about me, you know that like one of like the top 2 words to come out of my mouth is grace. Giving yourself grace, y'all. We are not these like robot business people. We are human beings. We're moms. We're college students. We're wives. We're girlfriends. We're like, you know, we're daughters. We're sisters. All of these things. Okay. So giving yourself grace, but also being 100% that girl who's like gonna do the things that you know you need to do. So here are the things that for me personally, I am going to do them on my worst day, on the days where Casper is up every single hour and then naps for 10 minutes in the morning. What is your girl still doing? Stories all day long. All day long. You will never, ever see it. If you ever see a day where I've got like no slides in my story, like I have literally been kidnapped and like somebody should come find me. Like no joke. Stories. People watch. I have like 750 people that watch my Instagram stories every single day, y'all. You think I'm gonna miss out on those eyeballs on my posts? And guess what? They like it when I'm like, hey guys, the baby didn't sleep. Like that makes me real to them. They're like, oh my God, my baby didn't sleep either. I see you. I feel you. Like, yes. So I'm always in my stories. I've always got at least one product like situation. Literally, sometimes it's only one. Sometimes it's like 2 slides about coffee and that's it. Like but it's always some products. It's always my life. It's always the baby. Cause like, let's face it, Casper gets a lot of views. And then, yeah. And it's just making sure I've literally got like at least 10 to 15 slides in there every single day. Pinterest makes it too easy. Please do not, I don't know what to post. You're trying to not know what to post if you don't know what to post in your stories. Inspirational quotes, cute pictures, more inspirational quotes. Like there's a million, billion, jillion product posts on Pinterest, literally just up for grabs. You should also make your own stories, and I do spend time making my own stories, but that's a non-negotiable. My other non-negotiable, life posts. Life posts. I have so many people be like, Hope, how do you sign so many distributors? I use the products and I use the products in my stories, but I don't really post about the products, you guys. I like not like on my Instagram. Like I post life posts. I post about me. I post about my son. I post about my husband. And when I say life posts, like I'm also talking about like biz opportunity and like telling my story. But there's a lot of days, like the other day, I literally just posted about me and Tyler's relationship and like told our story and was talking about like how grateful I am and like tried to be inspirational to be like, if you don't got this, like you need to wait until you got it because you deserve something like this. Or I'll post about being a mom. You know, things like that. So, so posting about my life is crucial. I wouldn't say I do that every single day though, because I think the number one thing that I've learned that's not negotiable is just posting to post is not the biz anymore. Like that used to be the biz up when everything was in chronological order. I would rather like wait and like really post something that like really, really means a lot to me. So it's not necessarily a daily non-negotiable, but it's non-negotiable for me to post a life post that really, really means something to me that allows me to connect with my audience. And then follow-ups. I feel like sometimes this is like the back burner of like the four, like we're supposed to post, message, add new people, follow up. And sometimes you're like posting, messaging, adding, but then like this last one just kind of like, you know, like when I think about it, it just like kind of floats away. No, you have to follow up. You guys, if you are posting every day like you should be, you have people in your inbox from your stories. You have people responding to your stories, okay? You have to follow up with those people. You have to follow up. I follow up the next day, the next Friday. I'm going to go slow because I'm sure you guys are taking notes. The next day, the next Friday, the next week, the end of the month. And then if I get through all of these follow-ups and they haven't responded to me, they go on my like big giant once a month follow-up list that I usually do near the end of the month for products or distributors or whatever. But I literally do this, you guys. And so at the end of my night, every single night, whether I hang out with Tyler or not, even if it's date night, when I'm about to go to bed, I pull out my phone, I pull out my planner. I just have like a basic, let me show you. I just have like a basic planner with like, it's vertical. So like this is a day, this is a day, this is a day. And I'm going through my Facebook and I'm going through my Instagram and I'm going through my text and I'm looking at like, okay, who did I talk to today? And I'm writing their name down on today. So tomorrow morning when I wake up and Lord willing, my son sleeps, I will follow up with the people in my planner that I talked to yesterday. And then on Friday, I go back through my whole week. And then the next week I go back, you know what I mean? I go back through everybody. And then at the end of the month, I'm going back through like planner, like my whole planner. And this is so important, you guys, because like I want people to know that I have not forgotten about them. Do you know how many people I have signed up who have been like, thank you for just being persistent. Thank you for just being consistent. Thank you for just not giving up on me. Thank you for your patience with me. So yeah, stories, life posts, and following up are my three absolute non-negotiable things. And then very, very closely to that is growing my network. But when you've been in the business as long as me, I'm like approaching 5,000 and like working through all of my followers on Instagram. So if I don't add people every single day, for me personally, I give myself grace on that. But literally, if you have less than like 10,000 followers on Instagram and like less than 4,800 friends on Facebook, that also needs to be like in your non-negotiable list, because growing your network is everything. I feel like until you've hit a certain point where you're like, okay, now I got to go through, I got to weed out, and then I can like grow my audience again. So yeah, those are my absolute no negotiation on that.
No, that was so good. And I think,
oh, I'm sorry, I had another note. I forgot.
Oh, go. Do your thing.
Also, my other non-negotiable is turning the F off. My son is never going to be this young again. Literally every single day that goes by, he will never be this young again. If you're a mom, I don't even care if you're not a mom, if you're a dog mom, if you got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend, you got parents, when you're with them, just freaking be with them. Don't spend all of this time. You feel guilty when you're with them, but then you feel guilty when you're working because you should be with them. But then when you're with them, you feel guilty because you feel like you should be like, no. I just put my phone away, y'all. I plug it in on the kitchen counter and I sit in the living room with my son and I kiss his little cheeks and we do tummy time. And he's not even that entertaining right now, y'all. He's 5 months old. But I don't want ever to look back and think, wow, I really did spend all my time on my phone, especially in this first year of his life where I'm never going to get this cute little chunky baby back ever again. So that is a non-negotiable, you guys. Taking that time, because then after they go to sleep and you do have that time to work your business, your cup is going to be full of why you're doing this. None of it makes any difference if you're not enjoying the reasons why you're doing it. You know what I mean? So that's like another big one for me is like, I do this business so that I can enjoy my son. So make sure you're not like so non-negotiable with your things that you're like blowing off the reasons that you're doing this in the first place.
You know what's crazy is that the other night I sat down with Matt and I was like, okay, we're going to watch this movie and I'm going to put my phone down and I'm not going to pick it up once during this movie. And it almost like broke my heart when I realized how many times I went to reach for my phone during the movie. And it was just like one of those moments where I was like, wow, sometimes I pick up my phone without even thinking about it. And like, sometimes I'm not going to lie, it's in the middle of a conversation or it's in the middle of me doing something where I should be present and I want to be present, but it's that like, when you're, phone, you don't even have to have a business on your phone. This day and age, we're so obsessed with technology and it's so right there in our hands that
I actually think that this business has made me more intentional about using my phone, yes. Social media. I'm not just picking up my phone to Snapchat somebody. I'm not just picking up my phone to watch 97 million TikTok videos. Like I'm picking up my phone to do work, you know? And so I feel like that's, you know, a lot of people, especially people who say that they don't have time, right? It's like, no, like you do have time. You just need to be intentional with that time. And you just really need to realize, like I said before, you can do a load of stuff in 10 minutes or you can do nothing in an hour on your phone. It's that easy. It just depends on what you're actually spending that time doing. But I do it to Tyler all the time. Doesn't it just make you feel, do you guys ever do that? Someone's literally talking to you and you're like, uh-huh. Like, how does that, like, you're like, oh, like sometimes my dad does it to me because he also has business stuff on his phone. And I'm just like, damn, this must be how Tyler feels. Like this sucks. So just make sure that if you're being intentional enough with your time when you're working your business, there's no reason that you have to do that. And that's my point. No,
that's so good. So next question. And if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. We have 2 more questions. The first one is, how do you stay organized? Because I completely forgot until you said it about the fact that you had a baby and moved the next week. And I remember that. And I was like, what? It was a good thing. And you needed a beautiful home now with your family. Yes. But how did you stay organized through the end of your pregnancy, having a child? Because once you had him, you did kind of just jump back in because you had been organized.
Yes. Yeah, totally. So planner, first and foremost, I think this one was $40 at Office Max. You don't need one as fancy as this, y'all. You can literally go buy one for $5 at Walmart. Just make sure you have a planner. Even if you're quote unquote just a stay-at-home mom. I hate when people say that. Stay-at-home moms work our booties off, y'all. But if you're just a stay-at-home mom and you feel like you don't need a planner, if you're in this business, you do need a planner. Okay. Secondly, I literally just have this notebook. It's just a 3-section notebook. The front is literally just like my notes, my affirmations, and like notes for Zooms and stuff. The second section is people I've added to VIP Lounge. The third section is people who I've added to our pop-up. So if you're not on me or Alli's teams, we're both doing this like online group pop-up thing that's like VIP Lounge, except for it's for potential customers. And so I have people I've added to the pop-up as well. So that's just like kind of how I'm organizing like my serious potentials. And once again, this is something that I'm doing like at the end of the day. Like it's not like I have my planner and my notebook and my baby and my phone. Like that's not what I'm doing. At the end of the day, after he goes to bed, I'm sitting down. I'm like going back through my inboxes. I'm like, okay, I added her. Okay, I added her. Okay, I'm write down her in my planner. The other thing, yeah, planner, notebook, text messages, you guys. I know that not everybody does this, but I get people's phone numbers. And like, I don't think me and Alli will ever forget the moment when like Laura Floyd taught us this and we were like, what? And she was like, yeah, I just like ask for people's phone numbers and I just like follow up all for my text messages. And me and Alli were like this was before I even went double, you guys. So every single time I'm talking to somebody that's serious about ordering or signing up, I'm saying, okay, cool. What's your number? Here's mine. And they're either going to text me or they're going to send me their number. It is very, very, very rare that I have someone be like, I don't give out my phone number. Like it does happen like very, very occasionally, but it's not very often. So I asked for, so then I can follow up for my text. So if I was talking about the products, I'm saving them as first name, last name, PLC. If I'm talking about the business, I'm saving them as first name, last name, PDT. And that makes my follow-ups so stinking easy. You just go to your texts, you search PLC, all your potential customers, boom, that lash serum dropped. You know what I'm saying? You just rock them out. Same thing with like deals for becoming a distributor. When that $49.50 deal hit, it was like, or like for conference, I was like, sending them out like hotcakes because everything was in one place. I wasn't having to like scroll back through my Facebook, scroll back through my Instagram, like trying to figure out who to follow up with. And you guys, that literally happened. Was that in September? I literally had like a month and a half year old that I'm a mom. My brain is mush. A month and a half old baby. And I was able to follow up with everybody super quickly that way. I also use my notes section of my phone. I literally sent somebody a screenshot of this later. I have it organized into albums. So I've got like all of my notes and then I have like, this is the trainings I send DTs. These are notes that I have saved to send to my customers. I've got my host to post ones. I've got posts that I've pre-written. I've got scripts. Like I've got it all so that when I'm like going to look for something, I'm not just like scrolling through the notes of my phone for ages. I like have it all in one place. And then text replacements. If anybody does not have their text replacements hooked up, y'all better do it before 2020 because this is the number one thing that saves my life. What did you just hear me say? I just literally spoke nonsense to you guys. If I did not have my text replacements set up so I could just be like, you want info on coffee? Coffee with 3 E's. Boom. There's my script. Like I do not have the brain cells to even copy and paste from my notes, you guys. I literally need to be able to just do it. So iPhone users, not iPhone users, there's some apps. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. iPhone users, settings. You go to general. You go to, where am I? Go to keyboard. Text replacements. And you can add. You guys see how many I have? 1 million. Because ain't nobody got time to figure out what they're trying to say. Especially not when you have a baby in one arm and he's screaming. You know what I'm saying? So text replacements are huge. The other one is, and I don't know if this is available for Android, so I'm sorry. Newer Androids have it too. You learn something new every day. Thank you, Becky. This app is called Plan with 2 N's. And I literally use it to set up my Instagram posts because you can set up the pictures and the captions and you can like organize the pictures. So you can like pick like where you want it to go. So like you guys, me and my girl Karina, literally on Monday, we went to lunch and we went into Barnes and Noble and we took a bunch of pictures and we took pictures by this giant Christmas tree. And then the other morning, I literally had no makeup, but me and Casper did a photo shoot. And I just have these pictures. I slap my Lightroom preset on it. And then you can plug in your caption. So like my post and my caption is already all set up on this app. So like once a week, I literally, wait, let me show you guys. So this is the post that I posted today. Look how many I have set up. Like this is life, you guys, because I don't want to have to take all of this freaking time to like be sitting there and be like, the baby's screaming, or he's only been sleep. He only slept for 10 minutes today. How do I like get him? Like, how do I even make a post right now? Sometimes your brain literally just does these things. It's called Plan with 2 N's, PLANN. It's a great app. There's like a paid version. Yeah, you post it from the app. Inside the app, you just click post, copy and post, and then it opens up your Instagram. You paste this, it like copies the status into your like notes. You paste it, you post it. And then I usually just jump over to Facebook and post the same one. So those are just some of my organizing tools. Yeah.
I hope you know that my team chat is going off right now. They're like, why didn't anyone tell us about text replacement? I was like, whoops, my bad. I've been doing that since like 26.
Okay, but it's like there's just these little things, you guys, and they make your life so much easier. But yeah, when you've been doing this for 4 years, like me and Allie, it's literally second nature to like just go like, I just type greens with 2 S's and like,
yeah.
Boom,
and I know what they all are by heart.
Yep.
I know what to type in to get what's great.
So,
yeah.
Get yourself set up for 2020, y'all.
Yeah, seriously. It doesn't take that long. Like take 20 minutes.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Okay, so my next question, and this doesn't just apply to moms. This applies to those of us with mental health, or maybe you have physical health, issues that you're dealing with. And we know this day and age, like everyone's just tired all the time. We all need to stop eating McDonald's because I don't know what's getting into our bodies that way. But what I'm say is that there was a point in your pregnancy, you were pretty uncomfortable through like the second half of it, but towards the end, I literally didn't. I like just wanted to come there and hug you because it was hard. And I kind of wanted to know how you showed up and how you found that grace in those times to get through your business, but still be there for your team because you didn't just abandon them. And yeah, just to show up when you're in pain or you're not feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I think, right. Like mental, emotional strife is like one thing, and you can like personal development, like have your dream board, have your why, and like get yourself out of it. But when you're in actual physical pain, or like you said, like mental illness, like actual, like biological, like chemistry messed up in your brain, like it can be really, really, it can just be really discouraging. It can be really discouraging to wake up in the morning and feel like crap and be like, how am I supposed to, in this crap-filled state, go out and like not only like work my business, but like if you have a team under you, turn around and be like, come on guys, it's great. I'm going to pretend that my ribs literally aren't killing me and I have to take Norco to sleep right now. Like, and I think that that's just the piece of it, is just no one expects you to be as perfect as you're expecting you to be. So for my team that's on here, not to toot my own horn, but I don't think there's a single person on here that would have been like, oh, Hope, you were a bad leader during that time. I don't think there's anyone on my team, period, that would be like, Hope, you're a bad leader. Like, I think everyone, and I'm sure your team feels the same way about you, Allie. And it's not that I am a literal ray of sunshine, fiery, like every single day of my life. It's that I'm very transparent with them. And I was very transparent with them during that time. It does not take a lot of effort to go into your group chat and say, hey guys, I'm having a really hard day. I'm having a really hard day. I'm in a lot of pain. When I was going to labor and delivery, I actually designated, this is like really funny, I actually designated 2 of my diamonds to be my, like, if I texted them, they would text my team. So I had 2 of my diamonds on my team that I could text and be like, hey, I'm going back to labor and delivery. Hey, we're going back to the ER. Hey, this is really bad today. I'm checking out, for a little while. I'll be back tonight. And they would go into my team chat so that I didn't even have to feel overwhelmed like that. So I think the thing is like when you're trying to lead a team, sometimes we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to like lead the team. But the thing about really being a team, even if you are a quote unquote leader, is that you're a team, you're a unit, and nobody is actually above one another, especially not in this business. And so leaning on each other, like legitimately being like, hey, I need help with this. I'm really struggling right now. This is really hard. Do you know what your team is going to say? We love you. We're sorry. We're praying for you. At least that's how it is on our team, you know? And so trying to fake it till you make it isn't possible when you're really struggling with depression, when you're really struggling with morning sickness in the beginning of your pregnancy, when you're got bruised ribs and you're 37 weeks pregnant and you can't walk without waddling and feeling like you're going to die. But you can make the conscious decision to not try to pretend that everything is okay. You can show up exactly as you are. And I think that has been one of my biggest aha moments in this season of my life, as I have transitioned from like Hope, college student, world traveler, to like Hope literally sits around in her pajamas with a baby all day, is who you are is enough, no matter what you're going through and no matter how you're showing up. Like you, like I'm literally talking to every single person on this Zoom. You are enough and you are worthy of success on your good days, on your bad days. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have watched the Costa Rica recap Zoom, but I know from my heart and from Alli's heart, you were already prayed for to be here. Like you specifically were already prayed over. You are already qualified because you are sitting here on this team. So with that, what I mean to say, to like, you know, bring it back around to what you specifically asked, I didn't say bring me people who only have good days. I said bring me fighters. I didn't say bring me people who always feel like roses and sunshine every single day. I said give me people who have dreams and who have whys that make them cry. And if you bring them to me, we will do it together, and nobody is in this alone. And it actually, I think, I mean, you know, not to speak for my team, but I think that period of time where I was kind of, you know, tapping out, down for the count, I think it made us all closer because it delegated some responsibility to some other people. And I think it taught some, honestly, like some self-reliance. People knew that I wasn't necessarily just going to jump on my phone the second you messaged me, which was good leading into mom life, because I'm still not picking up my phone the second somebody messages me, right? So I think just there's no such thing as a rap emergency. I heard Jade Hooper say that one time. Live your life, give yourself grace, and lean on the people who love you and who believe in you.
No, that was so good. And you know, after I watched, I watched the Zoom, and I messaged Jade, and I said, you know, thank you for being you. Thank you for being, you know, deciding to be the Jade that we know you can be, the fearless one who's not held back. And I said to her that we love her so much and we believe in her so much that we would follow her through any fire because we knew that she'd get us out the other side. And that's what your team wants from you. They want to know that if they follow you, that you're going to bring them where you're going, that you're going to, as all they have to do is just walk behind you. And so to close this out, because all of our emotions were just so like all over the place with this Costa Rica Zoom, because it was that good. Literally, I'm going to have it on repeat. I want you to kind of talk about starting now. And you're sitting here, you're claiming Ambassador 2020. I know you're bringing Tyler home in the next 6 months. And I want to know from where you are in this moment. I'm not going to ask you how, because we know that comes with it. But what is your game plan for right now? Like, are you just like picking up and saying like, here we go? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, I just want to like bring it down for a minute here, because I know I've been like a little like hyper, but like I just want to be really real with you guys for a minute. I feel really empty a lot of the time, and I don't mean that in like a depressed way. I just mean that in like an energetically, like motherhood, life, drama, family. Like it takes a lot out of you, and it is so easy to wake up every day and be like, honey, my cup already empty. Like I got nothing to give to you right now. Like I'm done. And here's what I want to tell you. You're stronger than that. And it doesn't matter what you have right now, because you are going to take nothing and you are going to turn it into something, honey. And that is what I'm doing. I literally am so tired. He wakes up once an hour all night, we're just going to pray that ends soon. He's getting bigger. It's going to get better. It's just, and that's God. Isn't that just it? It's just for right. It's just a season. It's just for right now. And you have been through every hard season from the time you were born until now. You're strong. You're a mother. Talking to my mamas right now. You are a mother. You are the strongest thing on the planet. Okay? You are stronger than messaging on Instagram. Okay? You created life. You can message on Instagram. So, and if you're not a mom, you're still strong because you're here and you're choosing it and you're working hard. Okay? So what I'm doing now is I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting until my son sleeps through the night. I'm not waiting until I feel like it. I'm not waiting until do you guys hear me say I go ambassador? Deep down, do I actually really believe I'm going ambassador next year? I don't know. I've been double diamond for almost 2 years. I don't know. But I'm not going to wait until I'm like, I know, to claim it and to put it out there and to put it on my dream board. So don't wait until you feel ready. That time will never come. The time is now. If our company has not been giving you hints that the time is now, I don't know what to tell you. 12 new products this year. Change the comp plan at the beginning of the year. New website, new app, brand new people in the top 20 every single year. Our top 20 leaders are fired the frick up because they know what's coming. So we don't know what's coming per se, but we know that the people who know what's coming are fired the hell up and are working harder than ever. So I'm not waiting until I feel great every day. I'm just going to get started. And what I mean by that is I'm back on my messaging game. I'm going back through. I'm following up with every single human being I've ever talked to. I'm getting them in these pages, y'all. Our potential customer page, our potential distributor page. I'm being consistent in my stories. I'm being consistent in my life posts. Ziggy, stop. Sorry, my dog's like getting into the trash. My life. I am making sure that I'm getting up post to post so that I can grow my audience that way with people who are legitimately interested. I am writing down my affirmations. Sit down tonight when you get off the Zoom, pull out a piece of paper, write down what you want. Write down what you want. Write it down. Don't stop to think, is this possible? Is this weird? Am I worthy? No. Just pull out a piece of paper and write it down. What do you want? What do you want for your life? I'm not even talking 2020. I'm saying your life, you guys. What do you want? Write it down. And then I want you to take out your voice memos app. On Android, I'm sure they have something comparable. And I want you to record yourself speaking it. And I want you to play it to yourself every single morning when you wake up. And I want you to finish your dream board. And I want you to unfollow any human being on social media that makes you feel bad about yourself or that you compare yourself to. And I want you to put your head down and I want you to get to work. Because you're worth it and your family's worth it and you're strong enough to do it and you've already been prayed for and you've already been qualified. It's just time to go. God would not have given me Casper at this time in my life if I couldn't handle having him at this time in my life, right? Like, your kids are here. They're not going anywhere. Your husband's not going anywhere. Your school's not going anywhere. Your job's not going anywhere. Crazy family's not going anywhere. You just have to take what you have and just move forward with it.
That's just so good. And I was talking, to some of my girls earlier, and I was, after watching that Zoom, I was like trying to think like, okay, what did I do to go emerald? Like what was I doing when I was fired up and like in that mindset? And you know what I realized? I used to have YouTube trainings going 24/7. There was no Netflix. There was no Disney Plus. There was no Hulu. It was Jade Hooper, Jocelyn Yates, Courtney Bohr, and we had them going 24/7. And guess what? I can't tell you the last time I watched 2 trainings back to back. You know what? It wouldn't hurt to have trainings. You guys, I used to watch trainings. I could probably pull up a Carrie Young video right now and say it word for word because I used to watch it that many times. And it's like, we don't realize these little things that we used to do. And we're think, for some of you guys maybe that have been in the business for a while, you think like, oh, I'm good. Like I have my personal development. I've grown. I'm good. And then you all of a sudden get to a place where you're like, when did I stop believing in myself? When did I stop having confidence? And when Tay said that on the Zoom, and he literally said, you should be so confident in this business that you'll walk up to anyone in a restaurant and say, I want to do business with you. Do you know how many times a week little old ladies will walk up to my car in the parking lot and hand me a pamphlet for their church, but I'm too afraid to hand out a Blitz card? I need to believe in myself and this company that much if I want to go ambassador, if I want to retire my mom and all those things.
You need to believe in yourself that much if you want to go Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to believe in yourself that much if you want to sign one distributor on your team. Believe that it's you. Don't just believe that it's possible. Believe that it's you. You are worthy and deserving of signing a distributor onto your team tomorrow on Friday when you follow up with people. Like, it is. And this is something that Jade said to me, because I also messaged her when I finished the Costa Rica Zoom, and I was like, I'm just so ready for more. I was like sobbing. I was like bawling my eyes out. And what she said back to me was, Hope, you just need to keep asking for more energy and more faith. Just keep asking for it. Lord, give me more energy. Lord, give me more faith. Lord, give me more energy. Lord, give me more faith. If you feel depleted, if you feel discouraged, if you feel like you just don't know, you don't have enough faith. And I was talking to Alli about this morning when we were going over this Zoom, and I was just talking about how there have been so many times in the last 5 months that I have genuinely doubted what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and with motherhood, with the business, with my marriage, with all of it. And I have to be faithful, and I have not been. And so when I go ambassador, and y'all see me on stage giving my ambassador speech, and somebody asks me, well, why did it take you so damn long to go ambassador? I'm going to say I wasn't faithful enough to believe that I was the kind of person to be successful in this business. I have to go grab my crying baby because he's
I love you.
Really
this was
sad.
so good. Thank you.
He's real sad right now. I love you guys.
Bye.